Pre-flight starting on the outside on the left side of the helicopter. We're going to check the general condition of the bubble in the door here. We do see that there's actually a crack right here, but it has been taken care of. They've been stop drilled and glued. We're going to check all the screws. We're going to check the pins and the cotter keys, make sure they're in place. And one up there, one down right here. And check the general condition of the door. We're going to check the door handle, make sure it's tight and the door can be securely closed right here. Coming down, we're going to check the nav light. We know it works. We checked it before. And we're just going to check the general condition of it again and make sure it's secure on the helicopter. And we're going to check the skid gear. Make sure there's no damage to the skid gear. There's no cracks. It's not bent. And we're going to check all these bolts right here. They hold on the skid shoe. So we're going to go down and check sure there's all the bolts are in place. Here we have a place where you can hook up the wheels. If you don't have a dolly, you do have wheels to roll this around, and they can be left on the helicopter. Just make sure if you're going to do that, they are pinned up and secure before you take off. Checking the cross beam under here, you should have just a little smile to the cross beam under here. That way you get some suspension. Check the nuts here. They're self-locking nuts on this helicopter. Make sure those are in place and secure. And anytime you are looking at any of these joints where it comes together, we're going to look and make sure there's no cracks under there. Okay, coming up to the front of the helicopter. Again, we're going to check the condition of the bubble, make sure there's no damage, it's clean, we can see out of it. If you look here, starting in the front, we have a yaw string right here. You want to make sure the yaw string is secure. You get a good view here of the battery. Make sure the battery is secure. Make sure there's no leaks. You look down under here and look across the front and make sure that there's nothing that's going to interfere with the pedals. And coming down a little further, we got our pitot tube. I want to check, make sure no damage to the pitot tube. Make sure there's nothing in there. Bugs like to make homes inside here if you don't have your pitot cover on. Make sure that's clear. Check underneath the helicopter. We do have a dolly that we move this around with. If you don't place the dolly under there right, you could have some damage. Then you check the antenna. You got a UHF antenna here. We also got a little camera there for taking pictures. Make sure that's on secure. And again, we're going to check the landing right. Make sure that's secure. Make sure the front of it is clean so it shines as bright as it can. And we know it works, so we checked it earlier. So now we've checked the front. We're going to move over to the right side of the helicopter and we're going to check the same things over here. Checking the bubble, checking the door. There's no damage. Checking all the pins. Make sure the cotter keys are in. That's good. Down here, check the other pin. Check the cotter key. Make sure that's in place. There's no damage. And we're checking the door handle. Make sure that's secure and make sure it can hold the door shut tight. Come down and check the nav light on this side. Make sure it's secure. Make sure it's clean. We know it works. And then we're going to check the skid gear. Come down, make sure there's no damage, no bends, no cracks. Then just double check these castle nuts. Make sure that they're on secure. That's where the other wheel goes. We're not going to use it today. And check back here. Okay, very good. Now we can continue on our checklist. And hey, just note one other thing. The wear of the skid shoes, you can tell how they're wearing, or if they're wearing too much, by looking at the opposite skid. You should see some daylight underneath that skid as you look across the helicopter. Now, of course, this one's up on pads, so the space is exaggerated. But if the helicopter was sitting flat down on the ground with no space, well, then there's not much left to your skid shoes. So you should have those checked. Okay, let's continue.